F1 Manager 2024. This is the third installment of my F1 Manager from the Frontier, the developers behind the Elite Dangerous. It is also perhaps the worst of the three. Yes, they put a lot more stuff into the game this time around, however, more does not necessarily mean better. It has been clear from the outset that either they didn't give the game enough attention to play test it truly, or the people charged with play testing were not giving it their full attention or were not capable of doing a thorough job with it. The game, like many games nowadays, feels rushed, unfinished, or like a cash grab, just get it out there, the players will test it for us methodology. I understand why games are like this these days, and no, it's not as some people suggest, a case of rose-tinted glasses. Far too many gamers of today are too readily accepting a beta testing games for developers, so much so that it has become the norm of those who are too young to remember a time when gamers were released, more often than not, as proper, fully worked upon, much loved products. Yes, games actually did get released in a much better state that they can do than nowadays. I know there will be naysayers out there, but I don't care what they say. They are blind, simple fools. However, I am completely unsure how this game passed QA. It has many bugs, some that are game-breaking and have yet to be fixed. It's crazy to me that there are some worried about the villain steering wheel over the compatible and utter failure on the contract system. When you try to offer renewed contracts for the employees and drivers on your team, that person will never receive them, so they won't accept them. The only way around this is to offer the person an absurd amount of money to convince them to join, which is the terminal for the new teams in F1 trying to score points. Another couple honorable mentions are the powertrain issues. Every time I start a new race, my powertrain is somehow overheating. At first I thought maybe it was the weather, but then I soon realized it was just a glitch, as I did some testing with the best teams in terms of cooling, Aston Martin, and it was still overheating. Another huge disappointment is that in race statistics screen, I had this issue in F1 23 where sometimes when you open the strategies mid-game, it will glitch and never go away, and the only way to fix it is to completely restart the game, causing you to lose all the progress interface. The radio messages are also all over the place, and the penalties are also glitched out horribly. They dish out some penalties that never happened, and it's just all over the place. Don't even get me started on the completely screwed up strategy system and the setups. It's really bad. I'm so confused on how they backpitted this much from last year. There's just many bugs and issues. Some are cosmetic, like the one I found today where the new tires you just put on the floating in the airbag in the pit lane after the car leaves. Some are game-breaking, like the bug from the launch where the AI doesn't respond for contract offers unless they're immediate. The last one has since been fixed, but it was like for over a week before it was patched. The AI seemingly has infinite ERS energy. People on the forums are saying pace modes don't actually do anything for the player. Not only is it believable on its face very serious, but it gives my experience. Frontier has the makings of the gem in their hands, but the execution is constantly poor. I had really high hopes, especially for this year given their price reduction and the inclusion of the majority request feature, create a team. I threw out they might have finally gotten their act together, but it's the same beautiful and mostly satisfying veneer over uncountable layers of junk being held together by duct tape and players. The issue tracker, which is stupidly hard to find if you don't already know how to get to it, it's currently sitting at 365 issues. I'm not sure some of them are user error, but I've submitted 4 of them myself. I have completed 1 race in the 24th season. F1 Manager 24 seems to suffer from developers' disease of apparent apathy. Do just enough to get it out the door and we can worry about the smell later. Well, it doesn't define thing. How on earth can many game developers honestly, and I do mean honestly, look at themselves and say, wholeheartedly, we did a good job. Not even a great job, just a good one. How can they realize the game after game, year after year, over and over, and hear the thousands of complaints from the customers who pay good money to just enjoy playing a game? How can they enjoy when they spend so much time trying to find a good way to get a game to launch? To stop a game from crashing every 2 to 10 minutes, spend time searching through seemingly endless pages of bug reports in an attempt to not duplicate an already sought issue report, because not doing so could mean the difference between a bug being recognized and worked or not. Wouldn't seem so bad if it was just an occasional game, but no. What makes it worse is when the game appears to be similar to the last iteration that no amount of convincing otherwise would sway you. And it's worse than its predecessor. Really? What in the name? If I wasn't already bald, I would probably be pulling out my hair. I dream of that day that the game studio